guys, and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here, hi, my name is Domonique, and for today's video I'm going to be talking about how my husband and I met, because I got a couple of messages asking if I met Adrian in Hawaii. So I wanted to clear that up for you guys, and I just thought that I can do a video and explain how we met and basically our story. Okay, so it all started in 2014 when I was a freshman and Adrian was a junior in high school. And we can't remember the exact month that we met and like started talking, but all I remember was that it was sometime during the end of the school year, start of summer break. And basically how it all went down was that we had a mutual friend between us, and that's how we met. He brought him to one of my friend's house, and we were swimming and everything and hanging out, and that is the first time that I met him. And that night he took me home because I had no one to take me home. So he took me home, and ever since that, I believe like he just started hanging out with our friends a lot more often. I didn't really talk to him when he was around at first, so I didn't really know him. And then my brother played baseball for the local league, I don't know what you call it, but he played baseball, and when it comes to baseball you have umpires. So for the umpires, Adrian umpired the games for the league, and when you umpire you can actually pick your games that you want to do online. So online it tells you like the games you want to pick and everything like that. And I know that because I used to work at the park for like the snack bar area, and then so it would all be in the same area basically. And he knew I worked there, he knew I was there to see my brother play and watch my brother play. So I remember one time he had asked me like, oh, like who does your brother, like what team does your brother play for? And I had told him one day, and ever since that day I realized he umpired every single game of his. And I'm like, whoa, like what's happening? And my mom, before I had told her any of this, she's like, oh, like Dominique, he's cute. I was like, who, the umpire? And she goes, yeah. And I'm like, no thanks. I was so mean. Ever since that had happened, I just saw him more often. And one day I had tweeted like, oh, who wants Cold Stone, which is an ice cream place where we live, and he had tweeted back at me saying me, and I'm like, why did he just reply to my tweet? And I barely even know him, which is so funny. So I had told my mom, and I was like, this is a guy from the park. And she goes, okay, let's bring him ice cream. And I'm like, no, like we're not bringing him ice cream. And she's like, no, yes we are, ask him what he wants. So I ended up bringing him ice cream to his house. Never even, like, I don't even know that guy that well, and we took ice cream to his house, which is so funny. And basically ever since that, we started hanging out more, started hanging out every day. He'd always take me home. At first it was with our friends, like we'd hang out a lot with our friends, and then it started becoming just the two of us. He would come see me after work, he would come see me after his baseball games. Even if I went to his baseball games, he would come to my house after. And basically we were inseparable after that, and which is so funny. So then summer happened, and then the school year started in August. I was a sophomore and he was a senior. Before the school year started, or the beginning of that year, of the school year, we went to a Dodger Angel game. And if you didn't know, I'm a Dodgers fan and he's an Angels fan, so we thought it was a perfect time to go. We went to the game, and that night he asked me to be his girlfriend, and it was August 6th, 2014. And ever since that we've been together every day, and which is so crazy because we're coming up on 5 years of being together and dating. and time goes by so fast when literally they say like when you have fun, when you're in love, and it's really true, honestly. Like, it's so cheesy to say, but it's so true, because I felt like I just met him yesterday. After that, we finished the school year. He actually joined the military while he was in high school, his senior year. He was 17 years old, so he swore in. He didn't actually get a job until December of 2015. So he graduated June of 2015, and then he didn't actually leave to basic training until December of 2015. And I was a junior then because the school year started and he was still there and everything. My junior year, when he left, I was a mess. I screwed up big time in high school, or my junior year, big time, and I regret that so much because I was stupid. I thought like my life was over because he was going to basic training, and it really feels like that at first, but then once you start talking to them and them letting you know how they are and everything, then you're like, okay, like I can do this. I need to get back into a routine and everything. So then he graduated basic training in February of 2016, and I actually went to go to Texas to go see him graduate and everything with his family. After that, he had to do tech school, and then he got his orders, and he got orders to Hawaii and was leaving here in June of 2016, which is so crazy. So he came home right before he came to Hawaii, and I was so jealous that he got to come here and I had to stay in California. I was so jealous and so mad. And so it was during summertime that he had came, and then my senior year started that same year, 2016, and winter break I came to Hawaii to see him. My mom let me come by myself and come see him. I mean, I was 18 years old and everything, but I came for like 2 or 3 weeks of my winter break. And when I was here, we actually went to K Jewelers, and I picked out my ring without even knowing it. I was trying them all on, acting like we were gonna get engaged for the lady and everything, and I had picked out my ring, and he's like, okay, let me take a picture of it. I was like, okay. I didn't think about it. So then I came back home. I had to finish my school year. He actually came home in March to see his aunt get married, and when he was home, I think he was home less than a week, but one day we went on a hike and he asked me to marry him, and obviously I said yes, and he was like, let's do it now, let's get married now, why wait? And I'm like, okay. So I told my mom, and she's like, okay. My mom absolutely adores Adrian, so she was like, she knew that this was right for me, and she knew that this is what I wanted, and so she supported me in every little thing. I have a Pinterest board of what I wanted my future wedding to be like. I'm talking future. I didn't know I was gonna get married in high school. I told my mom that, and she's like, okay, let's plan it now. When can you come home next? So he's like, I can come home in 2 weeks. And we all looked at each other, and we basically started planning our wedding. My mom and my family planned our entire wedding and paid for our entire wedding in less than 2 weeks, and we are so grateful for that. And I know you're watching, so we are so grateful for you still to this day. And it was literally my dream wedding. Everything that I had on my Pinterest board came to real life. It was literally like my dream wedding and everything I could have ever wanted. And so he came home 2 weeks later, and we got married on April 14th of 2017. The best decision that I've ever made, and I wouldn't change a thing about it. And so then he came back to Hawaii a few days later after we got married. Oh, actually I wanted to mention, we went to prom the next day. So Our wedding was actually on a Friday because he was only home for that weekend, and that weekend was my prom. I had my senior prom on Saturday, so we got married on April 14th of 2017 and had my senior prom on April 15th of 2017. It's so funny because it's just so funny because I had my wedding and then I went to prom. A lot of people cannot say that, so it's really funny to say. Then after that, he came back to Hawaii. I obviously finished high school. I graduated in June of 2017. I graduated like the 1st or 2nd of June, and basically between that I was like, I'm gonna buy my one-way ticket. So I bought it for like 3 or 4 days after I graduated. So 3 or 4 days I literally packed everything that I owned in like boxes, because you can take boxes instead of suitcases as your like checked baggage on the plane. So that's what I did, to take as much as I could in the boxes. So I packed everything, like my clothes, I packed some like home decor and everything, and I came to Hawaii. I was 18 years old. I came out right before his birthday, so he was gonna turn 20. Ever since that, we've been here, and now it's 2 years later. We are in May of 2019, and his time up here in Hawaii is coming to an end, and we got orders to Ramstein, Germany, and we leave here in Hawaii in less than a month, I think. What day is it? Almost a month, which is so crazy because time goes by so fast, and I absolutely loved Hawaii. I wouldn't live here though. I wouldn't come back because 2 years was good enough for me. Hawaii is so beautiful, but it's just not a place to live for us, and so we are so excited to start another journey. We leave Hawaii next month in June, and we go home to California for about a month, and we are so excited to go home and visit family because it's been over a year since we've been home to California, because we went home in April of 2018. It's just been over a year, and it's been way too long for me to bite into an In-N-Out burger. So once we fly into California, you bet the first stop is In-N-Out, because that's what I always do. Like, it's just a thing that I have every time I fly in from here, is to go to In-N-Out. And even my mom knows, like, we have to stop at In-N-Out. I don't care what time it is, they better be open, and we're getting In-N-Out. We'll be in California for a month, and then we leave to Germany from California for, I don't know how many years it is. I believe it is 3 or 4 years. So we'll be in Germany for that amount of time, and then hopefully come back to the States, because I plan on doing all of the traveling while we're in Europe, because we're right there and it's super cheap to travel to each country there, and so hopefully we get all that done. Basically, that's our story up to now. We're about to hit 5 years of dating, and we just hit our 2-year marriage mark, so that's exciting to say, because a lot of people honestly didn't have hope in our marriage and basically just said I was doing the wrong thing, or that we were doing the wrong thing, and that we were young. And look at us now, 2 years later. We're more than happy to be here and to be with each other, and I would not change a thing on what we did, even though we were young and I was still in high school. I wouldn't change a thing, and I don't regret it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys did, make sure you guys give it a thumbs up. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel to follow along our journey through our marriage, through the military, and our family basically. And yeah, I'll be back with more videos, guys. Bye.